Yo, it's mooveeDaAce up in the place, man.
Hey, this is Never Too Much. We're here with mooveeDaAce. Alright, man, so can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I was raised in Oshkosh County in Sugar, Mississippi until I was about 8 or 9 years old. I was mostly to myself for that period of time. I didn't really have too many friends. I was just an introvert. I spent most of my time reading, gaining knowledge. I spent most of that time with my grandma. But that was just a period of my life where I just really was just to myself. I was closed out to the outside world in its entirety. I didn't know much about, mall, movies, a lot of things. I didn't know much about, doing things with friends. It was just me and knowledge, me and reading books and going to school, coming home, spending time with my grandmother, spending time in nature.
So you say you're isolated. Can you kind of describe to me what people would, or if you're isolated, can you kind of tell me what people would describe you as, growing up and such?
So the way I at that period of time when I was in Oshkosh County before I moved to Jackson, I stayed with my grandmother in the country, but it was a very small town. It's called Sugar, Mississippi, and at the time, we was in a very small town. So it's like I went to school and people knew me when I was at school because they knew how intelligent I was. Like I was always the kid that was, one of the smartest ones in class, but outside of school, like when I got off the bus, it was just me, and it was just me and my grandmother's home. Every once in a while, we get out and do things, but I didn't interact with any of the kids for real outside of like maybe one or two of children.
All right. Now then, how did life kind of transition to you as you got older? Moved to high school, started stepping out the house.
So when at the time, my mother was in school. She was pursuing a degree at the University of Southern Mississippi, which she obtained. But she had me at a young age, so it was kind of hard for her to, balance taking care of me and being in college at the same time. So that's why I mostly was staying with my grandmother until, she was able to, come back and get me after she finished what she did. And, that's when we went to Jackson. And from there, that's kind of when I started to actually experience the outside world, like malls, movies, and, hanging out with friends and, playing sports. I played sports, of course, before then, but just playing like organized sports, like playing with other people, all type of things as a child. But that was just really when, my social life started to evolve and, people started to notice who I was, outside of just, being in school, because nobody really knew who I was. It was like I was just a person that was just completely hidden from the world, basically.
Right. Now, what age did you start experimenting with music?
So I started experimenting with music. I don't know what age. I gotta think about what age I was in like the 4th grade, because I know me and 3 other guys, we just started writing music in like the 4th grade. We just started. Of course we listened to music, outside of it, but we just started, writing our own music with no instrumentals. And then, as we went through our, grades, eventually just started to branch out and, started to mix and master our own music, And for me, I just started to, continue to build my craft, I go to studios every once in a while, but I just never really got the sound that I was looking for. So, over the years, because I started mixing and mastering my own music in the 7th grade before I even went to a studio. So when I started doing that, I just really just kept evolving and building my craft from there.
Right. Now, can you describe the type of music you make, what it sounds like?
Um, I feel like up until now I didn't really too much understand, myself as an artist. But funny, when I started to really go back and listen to my music, I started to realize that like I kind of channel messages, like through my music about my life, about what's to come, what has already happened, but it just comes out in a way that I can't explain. Even when I write, it's like I just write. It's like I just go to a place, and then when it comes out, it's just so fluent because it's so natural.
Right.
It's kind of like a rock star hip hop style in a sense at times. It's kind of like a soulful style in a sense. It's kind of like a knowledgeable style in a sense. It's like I have so many styles I can't put it in a box because the way I channel it's like channeling a message. It's like a psychic or a tarot reader or a medium, whatever you want to call it. But it's just how it comes out, and it's just natural. It's just like a message. And so once I went back, as I because as I started to really get into my intuitive gifts and started to actually read tarot and things like that, I started to realize how even throughout the years that I was making music, I was always channeling messages through my music. So that's when it became even more powerful to me about what I had been doing the whole time. It was like God had been building me the whole time without me even knowing, and then now he's getting ready to just show me to the world. So it's a beautiful thing when I think about how I look at myself as far as style wise in music, because I never really wanted to be considered just a person who you knew what to expect when you heard something from me. I always wanted to be a surprise, and now as I get deeper into my craft, I realize that every time I make a track, it never sounds the same. It sounds even better and even better and even better because it's me fine-tuning my craft, or me fine-tuning the sound, or me delivering things in a certain way, or it's just beautiful, man. I don't even know how else to explain it. And I always tell my people, they be like, man, they gonna hear you, but I be telling them, I be like, even if one person hear it or 1,000, bro, it's just the fact that I even created some shit like that. Like, to me, just myself, everybody, I don't knock people who go to studios, you feel me? But for me to be doing it this long and continue to evolve and continue to create so many different sounds and so many, and say so many different profound things, then I don't know what else to say about it. So yeah.
Alright, now word. Can you tell me some of your favorite tracks you have put out so far?
So recently my favorite tracks that I have put out so far is definitely Third Eye. It's on my latest album, Divine Timing. Hating on Me, Void, What's Happening, All Vibes, Tunnel Vision. I mean, really that whole album, Divine Timing, I just compiled, it was like a compilation of like the fine tuning of my craft over time. And when I put it out, I was like, man, I don't care like who hear this, but I said, but this is massive, because the way it sounded straight through, the way it was just put together, it was literally divine timing. And even afterwards, I still got another project coming, Grow Season 2 on May 19th, but that project, Divine Timing, followed by the project I dropped after it, the Ill Alliance 3, which when I did the past 2 Ill Alliances, it was really just me wanting to do a collaboration project, with some of my closest people that I knew who just made music. But I just always look at the music as you can always create something, beautiful. It don't matter who. So that's why I always gave anybody an opportunity to do a song with me, because I feel like we can always create a hit. I feel like I got the Midas touch. So, like that's just what it is. But the last Ill Alliance that I just put out recently, it's just all my projects, I just feel like Divine Time. For me to drop Divine Time, the album, when I did, it just felt like wow, because it was just so massive about the sound of the project compared to where I was, years ago. So that's just how I look at it, as far as, my favorite songs. Also, the project I put out back in January, Big Ace, they'll probably be like one of my favorite projects ever. Kent Vibes on that project for sure. Song 6 4. Those two songs really helped me realize the potential I had in myself to keep creating and keep fine-tuning and keep being better each and every time, because that was like it was like the slingshot that like slung me forward to be like, oh yeah, like you're here, like you have been doing this, since you were a child. Why can't you become bigger? Why can't you become better? Why can't you be the one to show people that you can do it a different way, or you don't have to follow the norm when it comes to how you perform, how you make music, how you dress, etc. And especially when it comes to spirituality, what I do. So I mean, God made me the way He made me for this reason. I just love it.
Right. No, that's really cool. Was there an event that kind of made you step into your spirituality?
I'd say the main event that made me step into my spirituality was I was already reading tarot. Like, not necessarily reading tarot, but like watching tarot, like, as far as like on YouTube. And I knew some other people who were like into tarot, who I already been on a spiritual journey, like started back in 2015. I had just kind of started going through some things that kind of led me away, but I went through some things in these past 2 years that led me right back. And I was just, really watching the reading one day, and it was like the Most High spoke to me through the reading. It was like, dude, you a tarot reader. And that same day, I left work, and I got me some cards, and then from that day forward, it was like the Most High and the Holy Spirit just started talking to me, because they had already been talking to me, but it's like when you choose to receive and when you choose to listen for real, and when you put your full faith and your full trust in them wholeheartedly, I mean, it's like it's a whole nother experience. And so when it came to where I am now, like, because I always choose to seek knowledge, because I always choose to seek truth, I always choose, I always get closer and closer, I always gain more and more knowledge, because we never stop learning, we never stop evolving on this spiritual journey. No matter how ranky you make it you are or whatever. I mean, in this spiritual journey, we all have to continue to gain knowledge, to evolve and grow. We all still have lessons that we have to learn to become better students and teachers. That's how it works.
Right. Now, how important do you feel like it is for people to kind of touch their spiritual side? Do you feel like it's for everybody, or do you feel like it's either hit or miss?
So, and it's funny, it's crazy to ask me that. I feel like when it comes to that aspect, everybody is on a spiritual journey, whether they recognize it or not. When you go through certain things in life, you're not just going through things for a reason. Everything is cause and effect. Every action gets a reaction, but it's based off your actions. But it's also based off the voice that you choose to listen to. Do you listen to the quiet voice or the loud voice? Do you listen to the quiet voice that tells you in a volatile situation to keep your composure? Or do you listen to the loud voice in a volatile situation and tell you to hit somebody or do something to somebody?
Right.
And it's just like when you realize how intertwined that whatever your spirituality, whatever higher power that you may seek, if you do seek a higher power, and that's what I think that kind of what comes back to your question. It's just like it's all about what you believe in. Put it like that, because if you believe in a higher power, then you everybody goes about it in a certain way. You don't have to go about it the same way, because even as tarot readers, we all have a different way of reading tarot. We're not the same as spiritualists. because we were all made different in His image, So that's just how it is when it comes to the spiritual journey. When it's just put it like this, it just all depends on how active you are into seeking knowledge, or how keen you are into. Are you more willing to put more work into that, or are you more willing to put more work into the physical things of life? That's really how I look at it. That's the best way I can say it.
What would you recommend for someone that would be in the start or looking to start actively?
The best thing I would say, everybody finds their way to, whatever higher power, whatever, spiritual, like I said, we all on our spiritual journey, but when you are open to receive, put it like that, when you're open to receive from the Most High or the Holy Spirit, when you're open to receive from, whatever higher power then you will start to see life in a different way. You will start to really hear them speak to you. Your experiences will start to become very synchronistic. It's like things will start to make more sense in life, because it's like another consciousness that's opened up. It's like you trust in that higher power daily to make sure that you're safe, to make sure that you're protected, that you get the love and support that you need, to get what you need, and you don't put so much of that faith into man or physical and material things, which can stir you astray and lead you into bad ways. I mean, it's really what it's all about, regardless of and I think that leads back to that other question too, regardless of if you choose to take the spiritual journey or not, it's really more so about your intentions and your heart.
Right. Now then, how long have you been living in Atlanta?
So I've been here about a year. I came down here when I got out of the Marine Corps back in March of last year.
Alright. So the Marine Corps, what was that like for you?
It was an experience that was needed, that I didn't realize when I was going into that was needed, but it was very much so needed. And when I look back, I love every moment of it, even the hard time, because it molded a part of me that can never be, taken away from me. But not even in that, it just made me a better person too. I can definitely say that the Marine Corps definitely made me a better person.
Alright. Were you ever stationed in any places?
I was really they were out in the Carolinas. Of course we go to boot camp in Paris Island. All of my schools were in Jacksonville, so I really didn't go anywhere. They were in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I stayed. I was actually stationed out there in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So.
Now then, how does Atlanta compare to the other places you lived at in your life?
It's like a magical place. I feel like it's a place where no matter who you are, you can be accepted. It's a community where everyone is willing to help each other build and grow and thrive. No matter who you may be, no matter where you are, we all come from different walks of life, and it's like here we just all choose to enjoy it. It's a beautiful feeling for me, but what I had to realize too though, is perception. You have to see it that way.
You have to see it. Can you give me more in depth about what you mean by that?
Because I feel like life is perception. We choose to perceive life in a way that we choose to perceive it. So if you choose to perceive the negative things, because you're going to always have, things that come up, like hiccups, or you might have people who might not be in the best of moods sometimes, or you might, run across people that just, may not be the best of people at heart. But at the same time, do you let that take away from your experience, or do you use it to learn through your experience?
Right. Now then, I understand that we both have a mutual friend, Wally World. Can you tell me how you connected with this man?
So I really ended up connecting with him through another friend, Erin Stacy. She wanted me to model a shirt in the Foreign Express opening fashion show. But that same day when I went up there to fit, it was crazy because I met him. And I went in his store and I saw the fit, and I was like, man, that's a hard fit. And I was like, and you know, she just came up with the idea of me modeling it for him. So I was like, okay, cool. And then it just ended up being the only fit that I ended up modeling, because when it came together, it was just so hard. It was just like, wait, what else? You know, like, but you know. And then
so that day was the first day you actually met him.
Right. No, not that same day. I actually had met him that Thursday before the show, and then that Saturday, you know, it just came together just all so perfectly.
Word. Then how did you come to meet Aaron of Foreign Express?
So funny story. Like, she really was one of the first people that helped me on my, you know, spiritual. I'm not gonna say spiritual journey, but as far as helped me when I first started reading tarot, because when I first started reading tarot, I didn't really start reading tarot. At first, I was reading oracle, but I was using candles because, you know, it's just all candles have a certain type of meaning, and I just, you know, used them to like set intention basically when I did the readings. So she walked in the honey pot when I was actually buying, like, I want to say cards and like stones, because I buy crystals too, you know. And she was like, yeah, Spirit told me to tell you get that yellow and black candle. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna deny, you know, the Holy Spirit. I'm not gonna deny, you know, the Most High. So I just got the yellow and black candle and I kept it pushing. But it was like after that, you know, like, I just really appreciated her, because she was one of the first people that, you know, Spirit actually talked to me through, you know, when I first started reading tarot. And it really showed me how my gifts were becoming more keen and more in tune, because, you know, my spirit guides were actually coming to me, you know, through other people. So.
You know, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, what's something that you wish that you could like tell your younger self if you ever to meet him?
If I would have, the biggest thing I would have told my younger self would have been back in 2015 when I first started my spiritual journey. I should have dove head first into it without caring what anybody thought, because I feel like if I would have done that when I did, I probably would have been farther ahead than where I am now. But I can't regret, you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn, like J. Cole said on the road to riches. You know, it's bound to miss a few turns. Don't let the bridges that you cross turn into the bridges you burn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just how I look at life. You feel me? Like, you're bound to miss a few turns. Like, but at the same time, as long as you find your way back, and it's like, especially when you choose to serve the Most High, what I learned is you're gonna always find your way back. Like, it's just a matter of time. So that's how I look at life.
Now let's bring it back to your music. Now when it came to it, what type of vibe do you need when you record your songs when you're in the studio?
I always I just like to isolate myself, man. I like to isolate myself, go within, and I just, you know, do my due diligence. I just, you know, catch my own vibe.
Do you ever have stagnant times when you record music?
You said what now?
Do you ever have stagnant moments when you record music?
Yeah, like right now, but I wouldn't say I'm in a stagnant moment or like I got writer's block. I just say, like, basically I'm focusing more so on tarot, because it's just like that's where my head is at. It's just like spiritually, I'm just so on this spiritual journey that's what I'm just choosing to, you know, really work on, really focus on. And it's just, you know, it's like when I'm ready to create, I'll create, but until then.
Right. Now then, you have mentioned Oracle and Tarot. Can you give the people that don't know the difference, like the difference between the two?
So Oracle is more for like guidance, affirmations, things like that. But Tarot is more for like I want to say like, I mean, they both kind of work hand in hand, but it's kind of hard to explain. I just say Oracle is just more so for guidance and affirmations and things like that.
Right. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing. Do you want to share your big three to, like, you know what I mean, the viewers?
My big three would?
You know, sun, moon, rising.
Oh yeah. So I'm a Capricorn rising. I'm a Leo moon, and I'm a Virgo sun.
Or I didn't expect you to be a Virgo. I really didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. What do you feel like the youth needs to hear now, like for the creators and just people that may be lost or feel like they are lost that they need to hear?
I feel like the youth needs to hear that it's time to spread more love in the community. Like stop violence, you know what I'm saying? Stop attacking people, like stop moving with ill intention, stop moving with hate in your heart. Like it's not good to move with hate in your heart or to move with ill intentions because you bring bad things upon yourself. So it's just always best to move with the right intentions, basically.
Right.
And a pure heart.
All right. No, that's very true, man. That's very true. The people that jump off the porch every year, they get younger and younger. I just saw a story about how 3 people in Maryland, 3 teens, they had stormed the bus and then they tried to shoot a 14-year-old kid in the head, but by luck, the gun jammed. So, stuff like that. Now then, what's a closing message you would like to give to, the people, what you feel like others that would like to take a spiritual journey or creators or just anything that you would want to leave us off on?
I mean, just like, that situation you just said, man, a lot of those things stem from, like, not enough love being spread, not enough love being given to our children, not enough time and affection. We start to focus more so on the physical and materialistic aspects of life, and that's just not the way it's supposed to be. And that's just the problem now. Like, it's too much focus on the things that are physical and materialistic.
Right.
And that's just, it needs to be more love. Point blank period.
Right. Now, what can we expect from you, like, for more for the upcoming year, the rest of the year?
Just really, I'm gonna be really building my tarot channel. I'm gonna be really shifting my music into a different aspect. Like, I'm gonna incorporate more of my spiritual side into the music, because I feel like now it fits more in me. That's why lately I've been releasing a lot of projects that I just been keeping under wraps, because I feel like now I'm gonna be creating a whole new light. I'm a more enlightened person. So as I grow and evolve, my music does too.
All right.
And so that's just really where I am as far as, like, that aspect of life as well.
All right. I get that. That's cool. And where can we find you at one last time?
Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, etc. is mooveeDaAce. That's $MOOVEE and then DA and then Ace.
All right, man. Thank you. This is Never2muchentertainment, and I appreciate you for coming.
For sure. It's all love, man.